Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day so far. Welcome back, one and all. Let me go. Like that. How about that? Okay. I gotta pull up the chat here. Look at this guy that came up on my look at this guy that came up on my YouTube homepage. Holy cow. Oh, holy crap. Oh, you can't see. Oh, because my camera's in the way. Look at how many monitors this guy has. Come on. Come on. Look at that. This guy is going crazy. Is that you, Mahan? Is that you, Mahan? This is Mahan watching right now. Yeah, this guy's going crazy. Carlos, holy crap. This is nuts. Came up on my fort. This guy is dedicated. Love the setup. Super dedicated. Good. Um, luck tonight. We'll give him some love. I like that. That setup is crazy. Will he say anything? He's got music going. I don't want to copyright it. That's nuts. Oh, that was funny. Someone's got to clip that. That's funny. I'm not on Twitch though. Shoot, I need to get on Twitch. Hello on Twitch. We are live on Twitch. Hey Gina, clocking in and you're clocking out. I'm taking the night shift tonight. You guys ever heard that song by Lucy Dacus? Night Shift. You guys want to feel something? You go listen to that one. You guys are if you're taking the night coding shift while your girl's taking the day shift, then you could play that song. Let's get the chat going. I keep forgetting. Let's see, what happens if I remove if I'm not using transparent background? What happens if I just remove this? Just use the default chat. Yeah. What do I know about night shift? I don't know about night shift, I guess. Let's bring this up, bring this over. Let's bring the default YouTube chat here. No. A little bit more. Is that it right there? No. A little bit more. Oh no. I can't get this to line up. I think that's it right now. It's not it. Ah. Right there. That's it right there. All right. All right. Austin, sorry, my bad. Today is Monday, April 14th, 2025. Welcome back to the stream. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day so far. It is a great day to be learning some Python once again. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break. I'm honestly getting a little bit. I need a day. Give me a day on the reading. We'll come back to Pro Git tomorrow and read half of chapter 7 because chapter 7 is pretty long. But I just need a day to just give me one day to reload on the reading. Chart just rest the vocal cords on the reading, and then we'll come back into those chapters and really get into those Git, because the back half is really kind of just like extra information for situational stuff, and that front half was like the key things we needed to know. All right. You guys weren't here earlier, go to the beginning of the stream and look at the guy that I stumbled across on live. His setup is crazy. We weren't laughing at it, but it just made us chuckle. It was something to behold. Tim during March Madness. Tim must really ball like that. Tim, do you have a jumper on you? Uh, all right, yeah, we got LeetCode back on the menu today, boys. All right, today, another day, another dollar. We are back doing the LeetCode and working on the project. So hopefully today we can really get the project to kind of almost be like complete, for like honestly for a main 1.0 version, and then we can open it up to to the channel and have you guys contribute and like have I think what we'll do is we'll open up a Discord, or in the Discord we'll open up a section where we will have um, you know, tickets or something that people can take or something. I'm not sure how we'll do it, but you'll basically be able to, you know, accept, like we can like divvy out some assignments, or someone brings up a feature they want to add, they can go ahead and bring about it, and just everything will kind of work through the Discord if you guys want to contribute to the project. Now, also, guys, like I think this is a really good opportunity. I really don't think people understand like the possibility that we have here as a group to really network and kind of, especially if you guys are either interns or looking for full-time employment like myself, is we do have an edge here as a community of programmers that are coming together. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, we have some numbers here. Like, I've been able to curate, you know, I've been able to curate a Discord of 500 plus people, that over these few months, it's been some hard work and dedication along with your guys' help. So thank you truly. Leave some thumbs up in chat and hearts in chat for you guys. Everybody stopping in day after day and studying alongside me and working hard on their studies. But we do have an edge in that if we can kind of work together on these projects and, not, I don't want to say mimic, but we can kind of interpolate, or in our own way, show that we are programming and working on projects collaboratively with people all around the world. Whether it is simple, more of a simple scale on the small business manager, or whatnot. It does serve a general purpose, or whatnot, but we can, it's just really interesting because we can really, I'm having a hard time phrasing this, but if you guys understand what I'm saying, is we have a group of people here. I know 1,700 people almost on the channel and 500 in the Discord, that we can use to our advantage as a group, everybody, to work together and show, okay, I worked and I was an active contributor on a project with, let's say, we got at least 100 people to work on it together, and at least add some sort of implementation. Well, 100 people look on working together on a project that has some real world cases looks a lot better on a resume than zero. Not no point at all, right? So this is an opportunity, I think, for us to really use this to our advantage and be creative, and do whatever. So you guys know what I'm trying to say. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'll have to post a video of me shooting my jumper from back in the day, Tim. It was it's pretty nice. Let me tell you. I also had an idea. I had an idea for an app. Now, should I talk about it now or talk about it in the Discord later and not reveal the idea out in the public? I think it would be fun for us to work on because I think it's a fun idea as well, and it kind of relates as well to something that I'm doing in my real world life with the small business manager, but more on a level of like incorporating a lot of other businesses for a kind of a unique shopping experience, which I think is kind of fun. So I think it's pretty interesting. Given a current real world example, there's lots of examples, but it hasn't been applied to this market yet. So I think it could be kind of fun and interesting. It actually came to me when I was just like on my lunch break, just I was like kind of just sitting there in my car, and I was like, hmm, that hasn't happened yet. I wonder. Anywho, let's get into the work today. Let me know what you guys think. Should I talk about it now or talk about it in the Discord? All right. Okay, let me go to the YouTube really quick. I need to pull it up with me. Ah, come on. Come back. I want to get the title of this stream. I'm going to put it onto Twitch. Let's see here. How do I edit stream info? All right. Sweet. Okay, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. All right, let's see what we can solve here for today. So I think we're going to try to solve the intersecting linked list problem. All right, let's try this one. Okay, so I've been thinking about this one for a few days now. I've been thinking about this one for a few days now, and I think I know the approach, right? I've been researching some ideas and watching some videos, and because this one I had to think about for a little bit, and I had some ideas, and I don't think it was right, and then so, but all in all, right? We can. The idea is that we can move. We need to get to a point like I was originally in my original thought process. We need to get to a point where we could do an algorithm to get to a point where we need to start at exactly the same node and see if we ever land on the same node, right? That is ultimately what we're checking is if the node is the same at any point in time for the next call between A and B. Now, the thing is if they intersect then, right? If they intersect, this will move, and then this will move. So I think that the idea is what if whichever one becomes none first, we assign to the head of B1, of the other, and then it kind of creates like a cycle. And then then at that point, if we ever become none or reach a node that is the same, then, because either they'll both land on none or they'll both land on a node that is the same. But the thing is how do we write that? That's the question. Zenity. You dog. I got no chill over here. Chill. Horny police is coming for you, Zenity. Lock him up. Lock him up. When you get like a sound effect, a soundboard for some of sirens, when we lock him up. Okay, so what do we need to do exactly is that while either or is not none. No. So we need to move B forward. Obviously, A will become none first. And then because B will then lag one behind. If we set A's none value to the current value of B, no. Would we want to set it to this value of B or this value of B? That's the question. So if we move this one forward, move this one forward, move this one forward, move this one forward. A moves this one forward, now B goes here, A moves forward, B moves forward, here. Oh, now A is none. So we wrap A to point to B. Then that goes. No, we don't want it to point to B in this current step. Do we want it to point to B here? Because then if it points to B here, now A is here, A moves, B moves, A moves, B moves none. Now B point at the start of A. B moves, A moves, and then you meet here. Okay, so you just set whenever you run out to the head of the other one. Okay, so let's move this out one more time. So we have A1 goes to A2, which goes to C1, which goes to C2, which goes to C3. We then have a B1 that goes to a B2, that goes to a B3, that ends up on a C1, right? So we're going to have our left pointer be here and our right pointer be here. All right, we're going to move left in one. So this goes away. Now we have left, right. Okay, move it in, left, right. Okay, move it in, left, right. Move it in, left, right. Okay, now we have a left that's pointing to a none value. Right, so we're going to wrap our left pointer to the start of on the next move. So we move, L moves here, now L becomes here, R moves to here. Okay, now R is pointing to null. So on the next move, L now moves here, R moves here. Now we're matched. Now we're matched. Bingo! So now we move R, we move L, right? And now we point to the same node and we have a loop. All right, we have it down on paper here. Let's try to get this into code. Okay, so basically we need to say we can have a flag and say while flag is false, while intersect is false, continue to loop until no, while both of them don't meet none. Right, so we'll say while head A and head B, while head A not none and head B not none. None. So while they're both not none, if head A dot next is none, so we're gonna create a start start equals to head a B start equals to head B, while head A dot next is none. If head A dot next is none, then we'll say if it is none, then we're going to say that head A dot next is equal to B start. And then I will say continue here. So in what cases do we have? So our cases are if let's too zoomed in. If if a value that has a next value you want to move forward, right? Our base case will be if head A dot next and head is equal to head B dot next, that we're going to return true, right? Oh, you give the node? You give the value. Oh. Return head A dot return dot value. Okay. So if they're equal to each other, return just whatever the next value. If one is none and you have B and if B not next, if head B dot next and head A dot next is none, then we're going to put head A dot next equal to B start, and then say that head B dot equals to head B dot next, right? Now if it's the other way around, well, what do you do if you return? This is 0. What do you return if there's no intersection? No intersection? Return null. Okay. So if head a.next is equal to head b.next, return head a.next value. If the head b.next and head a.next is none, right, the a in this example, the a ran out first, we save head a.next to b start rather than being none. So wait, do we want to save head a.next? So we need head a. So if they're both, so if we say not next, not none, dot next, not none. So if the next value is none on both of them, we're going to say there is no intersection, right? Um, if head a dot next we can say head a and head b, and then we set head a dot next to this value and head b. Okay, so then what we'll do is then say so we just set what the next values are. We're not gonna, so else, in the last case, um, we're going to, in the last case, we're going to call that head b dot next is equal to a start, right? And then what we'll do is we'll finally move the pointers forward at the end of each loop. So we say head a dot next, or head a equals to head a dot next, right? And then we say that head b equals to head b dot next, right? And so what will that do? So if this loop doesn't hit this return statement ever and then breaks on both of them being none, we need to return none at the end. No. Invalid syntax. Oh, head a dot not none. Well, head a not none and head b not none. Or I guess we can just say while head a and head b, because they're not going to be none, right? Int object no attribute value. No, there's no attribute value. An int object has no. Just return next then. Intersect at 4, nope. Intersect at 1, nope. Intersect at 2, no. Dang it. Hey, Prax, welcome in, dude. How's it going? I appreciate you joining me again. Welcome back in, my friend. How was T-Bell? Dong. So while you have values for head A and head B, let's evaluate the next value. If the next value, so what if we say while they're not equal to one another, we're going to continually loop if next is none and v.next is none, we're going to return none. If head b.next and head a, if they're both none, if either are, so then we'll return, after, if we break this, for 1, no, intersect 2. Linked list structure was modified. Huh. Oh. It's because I'm saying that the next value is equal to, so I'm modifying. Oh. So while you have values, while they're not equal to each other, meaning you haven't found an intersecting node, if the next values for these two these head A and head B, we'll say if head A dot next is equal to head B dot next, return head A. Dot next. If head B dot next, return none. But I'm modifying the structure of the linked list, which I'm not supposed to do. Right? I'm still getting those same tisk answers. Let's set it to none. Do I want to set it to point at the other node? Like, how can I do this without modifying the structure, right? We were able to map this out for this example, where you get, by doing a circular loop, you're able to get the nodes or the pointers to line up at these points at equal length and then move forward incrementally at the same time. If they both get to none, then you return true. So let's just say while so I don't want it to modify the structure though. So I can't have it point back to this node. But I'm not even getting the correct intersection point anyways. So it kind of doesn't even make sense. What you guys think? Tim, are you working on this one? Monsieur Tim. All right. Okay, intersection without modifying. So the thing is I'm modifying the linked list currently, and I'm not getting the correct intersecting node. Because what I'm doing is I'm taking a copy of the node at the beginning. This one's 160. Taking a copy of the node, I'm moving it. Must maintain the original structure. Call back on A. Well, then it'll be back in the loop. I have to call back on B. But I can't do it without messing with the structure. I don't want to go to the almighty orb yet, but I feel like I might need to here. We're kind of running into a wall. Well, let's go like this. Let's take our current. No, the thing is because we have to have this tester. We can't debug it. The premium. They make us pay the premium. Thanks for joining, everybody. I appreciate you guys for being here. My name is Michael. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I work as a formulation chemist. Been teaching myself how to code for about 10 months now. I've been building projects, doing LeetCode, reading books. It's been pretty fun, and I've been streaming myself, documenting my progress along the way. So feel free to join along if you're here, and thank you guys so much for joining me. All right, let's see here. No, I am working on LeetCode 160 and am getting a little stuck on my current attempt. Do not show me code at all. I want you to gauge my learning and slightly hint me into the right direction I want to solve. The thing is, I am not sure how to do this without modifying the structure, because in my current attempt I am assigning null next values as the head starts of the other lists. Here is my current. All right. Oh, shoot. Come back. Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, see what you're looking at. You're thinking creative, which is great. You're trying to force the list to intersect by stitching them together at runtime. That's inventive, but exactly where the twist is. Hint 1, the problem specifies do not modify the structure linked list, so if your approach involves changing next pointers, you're violating the constraints even if it's clever. Instead of modifying the structure, think about how you can simultaneously traverse past the end without actually modifying it. Imagine you have 2 pointers walking down the list. What would happen if you let them wrap around to the other head once they reach the end? Instead of modifying the structure, think about how you can simulate traversal past the end of the list without actually modifying it. Imagine you have 2 pointers walking down the list. What would happen if you let them wrap around to the other head once they reach the end? Isn't that what I'm doing right now? What matters isn't that the nodes align by index, what matters is that whether the nodes themselves are the same exact object in memory. So if you're trying to walk both lists in such a way that there is an intersection, you'll land on it at the same time. Uh, in hint 2, you say wrap around to the other head, but isn't that what I am doing? And it is modifying the English. That's exactly the subtle difference that matters here. You're trying to wrap around, but you're doing it by physically modifying the next pointer to the node, which is a structural change. The wraparound that hint 2 refers to is more like if this pointer hits the end of its list, start traversing from the other head without changing anything in the list itself. So instead of thinking something like head A dot next equals B start, think of it more like I'm done walking head A. So now I'll move my pointer to the start of head B's head. And same for the other pointer once it reaches the end. It's like two people walking two different paths that loop to each other. If you keep walking both paths, they'll meet at the same node if there's an intersection. Try with no surgery, no surgery on the list. Try reworking your idea. Keep in mind that how would you flip pointers back to head of the other list without changing the list structure? What? How do you make them point to the head of the other list without changing the list structure? Okay, so what happens if I make them in my current example? Let's go back to this. Instead of pointing back to the head here, let's move L forward, R forward, L forward, R forward, L forward, R forward, L forward, R forward. Okay, L is here. Now what happens if we set L to point to R? Now we go here, point to R, so now this moves forward to here, this moves to here. Now we say if, now R is going to point to L, so L moves here, R moves here. Wait, I think I messed up earlier. So L is here, L then moves here, R moves here. L points to none, so we're going to have L point to R on the next move. but R has to move as well. The R pointer is this value here. So L becomes this value and R becomes 1 here. So now there's a gap. So then L moves, R moves, to the pointer of L, which is here because L was there. Now R moves here, L moves here. So let's talk about this stitching and moving beyond the none value. How can I assign the next value to the head without stitching Oh, I forgot my other entry. Hold on, let's go back. Go back to my previous one. So it's like two people walking different paths. I'm done walking head A, so now I'll move my pointer to start at head B's head. If I move my pointer to start at head B's head, is that the current value or node that head B is, or no, stitching the nodes. If pointer A, it's not changing the structure, you're telling the pointer to now start walking from a different node. The list itself is untouched. You're just moving your little tour guide to a different entrance. What you're doing before is head view store, it was like rewriting the roads between cities. What I'm hinting at is more like walking down one road. If you reach the end, teleport to the start of the other road and walk that too. Isn't head B being modified at each point? If you're doing something like this, you're reading from it, then no, head B is not being modified. You're just reading from it to reset your pointer. Pointer B moves around, not head B. But if you were doing head B equals head B dot next, use new pointers. So I'll say, if I'll go like this, I'll say that A pointer, B pointer, while A pointer and B pointer if a pointer dot next b pointer dot next turn a pointer. And then we say equals to head B. Oh, you need to, okay, so I had the right idea, but I was moving the actual linked list down. We don't want to move linked list down. We want to make a copy and move that down. Okay, that's why I was doing the other way. I had it right. I was doing it the right way, but I was just modifying the linked list. I guess, yeah. Okay, so we'll say head a dot next one. I'm still modifying the structure. So I'm saying it's equal to head a b pointer. Oh. Pointer dot next. So it gives me the same values and it's still modifying. Come on. So this is my current attempt. Again, don't show me any code and be a little vague to help. That's not how you spell vague. To help me learn. I'm not being persistent with this. Get off me. Get off my back. Almighty Orb. Nice, Tim. Mr. Tim, you got it. Okay, let's get some tunes going to help ease the pain here. Let's go. You're still using next to reassign the actual structure of the list nodes, which is the only thing really you want to avoid. The moment you write something like a pointer next equals head, you're rewriting the list. What if instead you're checking a pointer is equal to net? What if instead of checking a pointer dot next equals, you simply ask, are these two pointers the same node? Okay, so if they're the same node, where we're going to return, right, a pointer. If Why does it go away so fast? Okay. We care about reference equality, not values. Not dot next literally is a pointer the exact same as b pointer. What would happen if they linked? So I'm going to set these to here. We're going to move down the list. 1, 9, 6. So if the pointer, if they aren't equal to each other, we need to walk. So let's just walk then. If they're not equal to each other, we're going to set is equal to head B if a pointer is none, else if B pointer is none, else a pointer appears here. BTR B pointer. Spelling errors left and right. Okay, no intersection now. Okay, so now we're giving none always. So a pointer is equals B if a pointer is none, else a pointer dot next. B pointer equals to head B if B pointer is none, else B pointer dot next. Now we're getting none no matter what because they're not. So while we have these, if they are well, they're not going to be none here. So while a pointer if a pointer dot next is none, else a pointer dot next dot next. Time limit exceeded. We assign a pointer to B, head B, if a pointer dot next is none, else and then we'll assign B pointer to head A if B pointer dot next is none, else B pointer dot next return none. While these values continue. Do we need to continue here? No, I don't think that would change anything because we're modifying the values of the pointers in our loop, so yeah, that doesn't do anything. Hey AG, hey we're all ready, hey Nameless. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Appreciate you joining me here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we gotta wrap this one up. We've been working on this one for an hour now. Okay, so let's take it, let's say I am really close. I feel like I am really close. Again, no code and be vague to help me think. Wrap around the other list when it reaches the end beautifully. Ask yourself, what happens if the other pointer reaches the end of the list entirely, not just its next value being known? Should the pointer switch lists when its dot next is none, or should it switch when the pointer itself is none? Well, when the pointer itself is none, right, that's what I was doing before. So then you just say while pointer dot next and while pointer dot next here. While you have next values, if the current ones are, then you return none. So now we're still returning no intersection. So while pointer, B pointer, and A pointer. If A pointer is equal to B pointer, we return the current pointer. Else we move the pointers forward. So say A pointer dot next. Well, the thing is like, if we say A pointer next equals to A pointer, let's say if A pointer let's have, should the pointer switch lists when its dot next is none, or should it switch when the pointer itself is none? So in this case, I get none all the way around still, where if I check for the pointer actually self being none, maybe it's my logic. Say if A pointer is none, well, I wouldn't say that. The pointer while a pointer dot next is, if a pointer dot next is none, a pointer equals to head B if a pointer next is none, else. Well, this is exactly what I had before. So frustrating. So this now returns none for all cases and still fails you said this now returns none for all cases because you're never allowing a pointer actually become none. Not equal to none. Still getting no intersection, so I'm not entering the loop. So if they ever hit it says the loop stops the moment either becomes none. Okay. Oh, okay. I always this is I think we just need to say or. Oh. Oh no! We just needed to say or. Oh. Clip that, somebody. You gotta clip that one. All we needed to say or instead of and. Oh. Because either or can be none, and if they are, then we move them forward. But if both are none, we say return none. Or an aha moment building up. Either or are none. GPT got us. Boom. Boom! 5 booms. Yeah, the eye emoji, right? Cool. All right. Nice. 3 big booms for Tim's dead brother. Boom, boom. Such a terrible meme. All right, let's get working on the project. It's just like, it's so annoying. It's like literally, it's like 7 lines of code. 7 lines. Hour and 10 minutes. 7 lines for an hour and 10 minutes. Bruh. Oh, so brutal. That one wasn't even supposed to be that hard. So I want to try something. Let's try this. Length A is equal to 0. While head A length A is plus equal 1. Head A equals to head A dot next. And then we'll do something similar for head B. Okay. And then can we say, can we move forward the difference? Right, can we move forward the difference of the diff equals to the absolute value of length A minus length B. We say if length A greater than, this is for fun, I want to see this. I want to see if we can do this other approach. Length B, if length A greater than length B, we're going to move length A forward. We're going to move for move in diff for underscore in diff in diff. We're gonna move that value forward that many times. So length, or say head A dot next, head A equals head A dot next, and then I'll say else elif length B less than length A, or length B greater than length A, we're going to say for in diff head B equals head B dot next, and then we'll say so now else of that. So then we'll say, at this point in time, the list of 4 is say, if, say, while head A is not equal to head B, let's move if analyze. Hey, Python in practice, how's it going? We're just trying this other attempt for fun. You want me to click analyze? Oh, Van. I visit every node, right? You visit every node in the list. So it's Oven. This one's kind of fun to do, this other approach. So we move the A linked list forward if the length is greater than either, whatever. And we say while they're not equal to each other, move while head B and while head A and head B, right? If head A equals to head B, we're going to return head A. Else, we're going to say head A dot next equals to, or head A equals to head A. All right, let's see if that works. No, int object not iterable. Oh, the range of diff. None type has no attribute next. Dang it. Here. It's funny. Which one did it fail on? This one? Hey, Minnle, how's it going? Minecraft Monday? Oh, you guys are trying to make me stay up late tonight. Alright, whatever. That was fun. That was a fun little attempt. Alright, this is the solution we got. Cool. Let's go ahead and work on our CS50X final project here. That was our 43rd LeetCode. Barely scratching the surface here on this wheel. All right. Hey Levi, how's it going? Welcome in. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Hey, we crossed 1681 subs. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. That's so cool. Moving up. Yeah, we'll have to do a hard mode this time instead of hardcore. Okay, let's work on a small business manager for a little bit. All right, guys, so we're working on the settings tab for our CS50X final project. I'm gonna ping the Discord, say that's what we're working on. We are building our CS50X final project. Stream. All right. For those that are new, you can join my Discord link down below to get access to all my study resources. I've used this so far in these 10 months to teach myself how to code. For the various books you guys see in my little library behind me here, to courses online, CS50. I try my best to limit my use of AI and really learn on my own. As you can see through that LeetCode problem, we did have to ping the almighty org for some hints, but we obviously will preface, no code. Please just let me think about things. Tell me certain angles I should really be focusing on. But I really try my best to study, in the best ways possible here. Is programming required for biochemists? No, definitely not. But it's a great skill to have for sure, I think. All right. Okay, so right, we're working on the settings tab here. So we might be able to do this, right? So let's do this. Let's go like this. We might be able to do this kind of. So, and you got, what should we do for these settings? So how should I go about, this is the hard part here, guys. I want to be able to update these sizes. I'm trying to think of the most user-friendly way to do it. So add, remove, item size. So maybe we should make a combo box for add item size, remove item size that you select. You put in the item size that you want to add or remove and you press update, and that'll update the box here. So let's go like this. Let's go to our settings menu. Let's go down here to this refresh. Let's remove this. Let's set this to column sticky. We'll remove the sticky. We can remove the pad. And let's call span, column 2 call span here for, and we'll call this, oh sorry, 1 to 2. For the refresh button, actually. '21's a space break. So now we have this with the refresh settings down here. So then for these buttons, what we'll do is we'll just say update sizing, right? And then update expense category rather than clear. We'll remove the clear option. So let's go update sale platforms. And then update sale platforms. Then clear, this is going to be update. update, update here, expense method. Update expense categories. Current sizing. Update sizes. Thanks, Levi. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying. This is my third project, so I'm really trying to do my best at being more organized with my file system, using proper object-oriented programming. Using inheritance with Tkinter. I really try to focus on keeping things a little bit more clean. It's been helping me be able to scale things better than my first 1.0 attempt in the CLI interface of this program. Right. This is our 2.0, our second go at this. So current add remove, add update, add update, add update. Here, update, sale transportation method. And we'll change that as well. Okay, so now if we call here, in our settings, we have update sizes, categories, methods, category / categories. So we'll have to say, because it has a different, that's interesting, it has a different plural spelling than the singular, right? We'll just say sizes then. Sizes, categories, methods, platform, methods. Honestly, a lot of practice. Every project I've written so far has been object-oriented programming, but it's really difficult. It really was like an aha moment for me. I specifically remember just kind of getting some practice and with the self, and then it just kind of clicked like one day, like just looking at it over and over and over again, practicing it for a few hours, that it just clicked that, okay, I'm making objects, I'm building them. If I need to access the attributes of those objects, I need to reference the self of it, right? Itself. So that's how you need to think about, when you're building these in code and building the blueprints and constructing the code for actually these classes, you think of it as the object itself in like a first person point of view for the object. And then when you actually handling these objects, then you have like the third person point of view of where you're actually dealing with these objects. So maybe try to think of it in a different perspective of when you're actually constructing these through when you're writing your code for the classes. You're referencing the object itself. Like if I was building a class to represent a class of Michaels, and I was making many different Michaels, well, let's say, and it represents different clothing I have that day. Well, this Michael would have on a striped shirt, and under its self dot shirt, it would be striped. And if tomorrow's Michael that I generated for tomorrow's date, right, Michael's outfit for tomorrow for the class, if I just wore a flannel, then that shirt would be flannel equals self dot flannel equals shirt equals self dot shirt equals flannel. So like you can try to break it down into simple examples: cats and dogs, myself, apples and oranges. Like it really helps to kind of think of more elementary. Okay, so update sizes, update expense categories, update expense methods, update sub platforms, update. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll make this icon here a drop down. So we'll come into our settings. Let's go up to our setting size here. For the label, we're going to make this a combo box. oh, this is the current sizes, and the current size is listed, and we're grading that. So then the add or remove label here, option, we'll say we'll make this option, and then we'll make this a combo box, and then we'll put it into, give it to the values equal to, right, a tuple or sorry, a list of values that will be, right, add size, and then another one that is remove size. So now what we have, just off that small change, is this, a combo box to add or remove a size for this certain section here. Okay, so then what we can do is make that combo box smaller with a hard-coded width. You like that explanation, Prax and Levi? I thought that was pretty cool. Came up with that on the fly. Yeah, right. So like, you know, think about, it's literally like real world objects. If I'm gonna make an object for every Michael of the day of the year and the outfit that I'm wearing for that day, well, I'll make a class called, like, I'll just do it here. I don't care. I'll show you. Right? We'll just do test.py. Right? I'll make a class called Michael outfit. Right? And then in the constructor, right? So these constructors, these dunder methods, these look confusing, and yeah, they are confusing, but these are just like you have to, when you learn Spanish and you have to learn verbs in Spanish and stuff, these are just verbs and whatnot, or adjectives and things like that, and whatever in Python. Think of it like that. So this is just syntax that you have to learn. And the dunder, and what it means is, like, this is the initialization constructor. So these are the attributes that will be given to each Michael outfit objects that are created. So there are special other dunder methods, right, for basically customizing how these objects interact with one another. So what that means is, like in the like def and the dunder EQ, right? So we'll say like so if I give like shirt, so I'm going to track the shirt. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So in the initialization, if I'm tracking the shirt value, if every Michael has to create a Michael, you have to pass in a shirt value. The self value is just put in here in the initialization here to reference that object itself. But when you're actually making classes and constructing them within your code and generating them with loops or whatever, you just pass in what's required here, which is the shirt. And so if I said that shirt, so then you say like self, the basic syntax is to say self.shirt is equal to shirt. Basically, so this shirt variable will be saved as a instance variable. That's what it's called, right? A instance variable, according to CS50. Right, it'll be saved as an instance variable where every Michael outfit that you can then call back up, you can get a value or an instance variable of that specific instance of that Michael outfit. So it'll have a shirt. So basically now what I can do is just basically off that, what I can do is say I can create a, say outfit 1 equals to the Michael outfit, and I'll pass in, right, a value of shirt equals to quote striped, or we'll say t-shirt. Okay, so now if I go here and I go outfit the object is now being saved in this variable, and I say I print right, outfit dot shirt, right, the attribute is saved within this object, which is also being captured in this variable, right? I can print this and get the value of t-shirt. So that's what you get here. Ooh, right, t-shirt. So I constructed an instance of this class, just like I would with a function almost. Right? I called it like similar to a function, but it houses these variables, and then you can reference these variables. These are data structures in a way. They contain and house data. So it's really quite it's really quite useful when you're developing. This was kind of my aha moment. I was like, okay, how can I actually build real world stuff? Like, it just seemed kind of trivial. I was like, well, yeah, I know all these loops and all these functions and stuff and methods, but how can I actually start building real world things without in code? Like, it just seems kind of silly. Like, how can these little, an essay, right? Writing words on the screen in a Word document, it seems like, could translate to real world objects. Well, this is how you would do it, is you have these constructor methods for determining what values are saved for every instance of a Michael outfit, and then you can call those back. So now I can make, let's say the next day, right, I make an outfit number 2 is equal to a Michael outfit, and then you say shirt was equal to, this one is going to be a, let's just say a tank, right? He wore a tank on this day. So now if I call print to outfit number 2 and I reference its shirt, a variable. Now you can name these a little bit more, descriptive, like Michael outfit 1, so that you can underscore 1, so it's like actually it remembers that class. But me as a programmer, I know that outfit 1 is containing an object of a class, right? And so you can print that shirt right here, and you get shirt and tank. Now, what happens if I just print? You might think, what happens if I just print the actual object itself? Well, you'll get back a address or a location on your computer in memory. And so and there's a way we can actually modify that, and that's where I was going with these special methods. Now you can customize, right? Python itself doesn't know, like it was when Python is made, right, and all the stuff that comes with it, those classes have these special methods created. But when you create your own method, such as Michael's outfit, the creators of Python and whoever didn't know I was going to make this class. But they provided me tools to use and utilize the Python operators for this class, such as like less than or equal than, is equal to, all these different mathematical operations. I can make comparisons of these class objects, just like I would be able to with Python class integers. That's what makes Python cool, is that everything is represented as class objects, as we learned in our readings of Fluent Python, Python Crash Course, and data structures in Python, is that Python utilizes object-oriented programming basically to its core in what it does. And so we can override these dunder methods and implement our own special methods for classes. So what you can do is, like, let's say you can say def dunder eq, which is basically like equivalence. And then I just pressed in tab there and it auto-filled the information, right? So this special method will allow, and there's tons of these you have to look up, and I don't even know, I'm still learning a lot about them in Fluent Python that we're reading. But right, this method, what happens is it will allow you to determine equivalence between two objects. So I'll say, right, this will be equivalence between shirt 1 and shirt 2, or sorry, shirt, the object itself, and we'll say comparison shirt, right? So you might think about, well, I'm comparing two shirts here. Well, yeah, you are comparing two shirts. You're comparing the object itself, right? Whatever's being created. So outfit 1 against the passed in shirt of the comparison outfit of outfit 2. So that's where you do have two parameters here. You are referencing two different instances, but you only have one in here. So when you do calls on this, it will say like, okay, if you pass in multiple, it'll still reference, I think, in the traceback that, oh, this requires 2 parameters, but 3 given if you gave 2 because it was a class. Now that's kind of beside the point. You don't need to really focus on that. But I think that might not be correct even. But in the now we'll just say if self.shirt equals to comparison shirt.shirt we're going to return true, else we're going to return false. So this is going to take the values of the self.shirt and the value of comparison shirt or the value of the comparison, we'll say, not comparison shirt rather, but comparison, Michael outfit, for a better, way of thinking about it, and then paste that here. So we're going to, the comparison Michael outfit shirt value, if those two are equal, meaning that we literally got t-shirt for this one is equal to t-shirt worn on this day for this one, then we're going to return true. So now what happens if I call a print on the outfit 1 equal to outfit 2? Can you call equivalence in a print statement like this? You can. And see, wait. Oh, shoot, no, sorry. Hold on, did I do this wrong? Hey, Kashi, thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate you for joining me. My name's Michael. Thanks so much for being here. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. Been teaching myself how to code for about 10 months now, and we're working on our small business manager. We had a couple of people ask us about OOP and some tips, and so I was just providing a little bit of insight that helped me learn. But obviously, I'm still learning here, so we're returning true, but these aren't the same. Oh, we can make comparisons. So if we can say outfit 1 is equal to outfit 2, you can go ahead and we'll say print quote, yes, 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 right? Else print no, no, no. So now if we run this, we get no, 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 right? They're not equal to one another. So now you can do conditional evaluations across this, because you're saying it equals to true here. Well, are these two values of the shirt equal to one another, right? And you can put in whatever value you want to be the comparison for the specific object, right? If I had an additional value of, like, let's say pant, right? And I said self.pant is equal to pant, right? And then I give it if I say this, if this is equal to, and self.shirt pant is equal to comparison Michael outfit dot pant, right? I have to add in that additional comparison, return true. So now I have to provide a pant to the constructor equals to, let's say, jean, and let's say pant is equal to jeans, right? And now if I say, and then if I modify, now if I run this, they'll still equal to no, 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 because both of these values don't actually equal to each other, because those are being checked in this dunder EQ special method. But if I go ahead and modify this to say t-shirt for both of the shirt options and run this, we get yes, 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 yes. So you can customize your objects to determine equivalency or make these comparisons or add math to one another. Let's say if I want to determine how I want to do object plus object, right? Well, if I want to add the shirts together and make two shirts come together, if I add the objects together and return a new object that has two shirts, well, I can customize that using the dunder add method, or the, right? And then there's the iadd method for the add in place, which is the plus equals operator. So there's all these different types of special methods that you can use to customize your objects to Python's operators and syntax and flow. So once that clicks, it just really takes off from there. It just really helps. Was that a good explanation at all? I was able to really show you guys an instance of creating an object and using another special method to determine equivalency. Now, like I said, is if I were to just go ahead and print the actual outfit itself. This will be an object in memory. So I'll print, as you can see, this is a memory address. So I need to use another special method called the dunder_stir method, right, to basically show whatever I want as the creator of this class to be represented when I call print on this object. So if I want to say, okay, I want to say you're going to return when this is called self.shirt, or an f string of self.shirt, and we'll say we'll just say self.shirt object Michael's shirt is and pants are self.pants, right? So now if I call print on this, you'll see I get Michael's shirt is t-shirt and pants are jeans, and I'm just using f-string syntax to import the variables or the instance variables assigned to that object itself. So because these parameters pass in that self variable for whenever I construct it, you can access these dunder methods by calling print, right? They're kind of behind the scenes for how your object works in Python. I can then customize the print call to be displayed for these objects however I feel. Yeah, so these functions are, like I said, these are special functions called dunder methods in Python. And what these do is allow you to customize your specific class to be able to use Python operators like the plus sign, the minus sign, division, multiplication, exponential functions, you know, equivalency, less than, equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, add in place, subtract in place, multiply in place, divide in place, modulo, all that kind of stuff you can override and customize to, because Python, like I said, doesn't know how it wants to add two Michael outfits together. It knows how to add two integers together because it's programmed in Python, but it's not programmed in Python how Michael's outfit is to be used when using Python operators like plus, equals to, less than, whatever. So I have to tell Python as a programmer how to use these objects when I do those calls. When I call print, I have to have a dunder_stir or a dunder_repr as the backup to actually display a string out. And what kind of string do I want? Well, that's the return value of this dunder_stir, right? Yeah, so self really, so think about it like this, right? Think about it like you're cloning stuff. Hey, we got a raid on Twitch, Midnight Simon with 26. Thanks so much for coming in on Twitch. I really appreciate you guys being here. My name is Michael. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I've been teaching myself how to code for about 10 months now. We're building our CS50X final project, and I'm just giving a quick example because some people on the YouTube chat wanted to see some examples of object-oriented programming and classes in Python, because it seems like it's a pretty sticky topic for some people, and I really wanted people to, so I'm just doing my best to kind of explain my understanding of it. But this is our current project of the Small Business Manager, where we have inventory that we can log, and through it completely syncs up to a SQLite database, and we built this completely from scratch into Kinter, so it's really, really awesome. We have expenses that we can then log with various categories and methods. We have transactions that we can transact individual inventory items. We can also return individual inventory items back into the system and account for those dynamically within our income statements. So our income statements are dynamically populated and generated via these transactions. So the whole point of this is for creative people that want to be entrepreneurs. They can just code, or they can just program or put in inventory and expenses and log these in these simpler items to log, and then allow the computer to develop their income statements for tax purposes on its own. So they can just provide at the end of the calendar year, okay, well, according to my transactions I had, I sold item one, I returned item one, and then I sold item one again. So I had $30 of allowances, as you can see, for this return, with a total gross sales of $100 made, right, for this, of these item amounts, with $25 of transportation costs, which is, or $20, I'm sorry, right here, 5555, and then various fees, discounts, giving you net sales. Cost of goods sold then is being populated from the sold inventory within that calendar year. And then obviously, and then from there you have expenses that further reduce, but we don't have any logged right now. And then you have a balance sheet finally to basically, you have a balance sheet to show you what is remaining in your inventory for that given calendar year in terms of asset value. So you can report that as your assets on your balance sheet when you're going to, find out your business health and overall profitability for that calendar year and whatnot. So it's really quite cool, and we're almost done with the project. We're just tweaking the settings menu here, allowing the user to change a business name, which is found at the top here. Currently got a default name in there for right now. And then update, and right now we're converting these over to combo boxes, so the user can dynamically select add or remove, and then paste in whatever size they want to add or remove into their sizings, their expense categories, methods, sale platforms, and transportation methods, and those will all dynamically populate into these categories via our business class. Sorry, this is kind of a lot of information, but our business class is housing all of our information, and we're populating that to JSON and then reading that back at the beginning through a instance variable within our small business manager class. So I've been teaching myself how to code for about 10 months now, and it's been quite the journey, and I've learned a lot so far, and I built this entirely from scratch on my own. I'm about to be done with it, and it feels really good. It's been a long time coming, but thank you guys so much for being here and joining me. I got a degree in human bio and a minor in chemistry, and I graduated in 2021. I'm 26 years old, and I have a job as a formulation chemist. I work a 9-to-5 job every day, and I code afterwards every single day. So thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you guys for joining me. We got a lot of new people on Twitch here. Wow, everybody's so many cool people. Holy cow, a lot of people. Midnight Simon, Lopta, Dead Egos, The Real Raymond Jones. Thank you so much. Q Ultimas. Thank you, looks pretty good. Yeah, Dead Egos, yeah. No, I don't vibe code. I like to code. I like to learn myself. What do the boundaries of your code look like? Oh, persistent online object platform. That's just the temporary name that people can override here. That's funny. What does a monolith mean? Like I said, I don't know much, like in terms of, I'm just kind of trying to be more organized with this project. I've built a few so far projects, and this one I'm really focusing on trying to like be more organized. This song always trips me up when it comes on. The moan at the beginning. It's coming back. It's coming back here. Hold on, guys. Where is it at? Turn it up for a sec. Yeah, the song trips me. The song always makes me pause for a second. Okay, hold on, lots of chats here. Data goes. You see you have a model, you should look up MVC, Model View Controller. It's how you org your code in the concerns. You think about making a class that is only used for data, i.e. the model. Then another class is only used for actions, i.e. the controller. And another one that is for the i.e. the view, for the UI. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of like something similar. That's something I was trying to implement without actually knowing what that was. Is I was kind of doing something similar where I'm not really using these classes here for the expenses and the income statement and whatnot, but I just use them to help my understanding. But for the business class, we are using this one, and whatnot. But I have some object-oriented classes going on for these individual tabs within my sheet, and then the overall app is getting those tabs via import, and then creating objects from them, and then adding those to our overall controller, and then obviously we have the window being created here. So let's go ahead and keep moving on this, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate everybody if you're new following along and joining me. I stream every single day around 7 p.m. PST after my 9-to-5 job. Thank you guys for being here. So let's change the width over here on this guy to about 20, I think would be a good pixel length. So let's go to the add or remove combo box option, and let's add in a width of 20. And let's see if that reduces it down appropriately. No. So, add remove sign combo box. You put it on the here? No, you don't put it on here. I have a width. What if I make it really small? A width of 5. Maybe 20 was just too big. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's do like width of 10 then, I guess. Let's split the diff. And see. Okay, that's better. Remove size, add size. That's perfect. So then let's do the same thing for the other boxes here. So we have the combo box here, add remove expense option. Oop. And then we'll paste this here, and then we'll convert this over to a combo box where we'll add in the width of 10. Okay, and then we'll give the values as a list of values, right, called add expense category, and remove expense category. Okay, so we might need a little bit bigger width on that. Let's try 15 at first. Okay, so that'll work. Let's keep going down here. So the add remove option. Let's update these. Bring this over. Combo box. Let's say I'll copy these values. Add remove expense method here. And then we'll go method here. And then we'll give it a width of 15. Okay, moving down. Add remove option right here. Let's paste in this here, values, add sale platform, remove sale platform. Copy this in, and we'll give this a width of 15. And then add remove lastly option here. Paste this in. Take these values and the width. Paste this here. Make this add transportation method. Remove transportation method. Okay. All right, let's see what that looks like. No. unknown value option values in, okay. Oh, combo box. Oh, come on. Combo box here. Combo box, there we go, we're good. Now we're good. Settings, there we go. Now we have combo boxes for each of these. All those fit, nice. That one doesn't fit, so let's expand that one out to 20. Width, we'll make this 20. Okay. It's a little bit too big. I don't need it to be that big. Let's go with 17. That works. Is that one a little bit too close? It's a little bit too close on the second to last one. I'll do one more pixel up on the cell platform. Let's just do 16. There you go, now you have a little bit more room. Lots of chats. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. Been missing the kid. Sorry, lots of chats. My bad, guys. MVC something could be used for the next project. No need to use it this early. Yeah, gotcha. It's a great way to structure it. But yeah, I don't think you need to change the way you build just a force. Yeah, we're almost done with the project anyways. I'm planning on opening this up once I submit it if I have a Discord linked in my YouTube bio, in my YouTube description, and I want to open it up for the channel members to also contribute to. There's a lot of new people learning to program, and I think these, beginner but somewhat intermediate-ish projects really help to help people learn, and and I can answer questions about it too. And so I have a Discord with about 15 people in it so far, with a roadmap of my current learning for all the books that I'm reading, courses I'm taking, weekly updates of those courses, all for free. So feel free to join that and collaborate along with us. I am in there all the time. It's every day. It's good to think about the whole life cycle of an action and then start to think about how you can break each concern along the path of that life cycle. What's your motivation for doing LeetCode? Just learning. I felt that it really helped me understand loops a lot better, especially when I was first learning about two-pointers and time complexity and writing better and more efficient code. The LeetCode practice just helped me to have that mindset thinking about, okay, if I'm going to be accessing data, how could I do it the most efficient way? So in my previous iteration, when I was doing everything through the CLI and not using SQL, I was fetching through through the item searches via binary search, right? So when I learned about that, I implemented it into the as my search mechanism, but then I refactored it down into be a hash table for actually accessing unique item numbers as key values instantaneously. So when I learned about hash methods or hash tables, I instead switched over to that because it seemed even better. So the LeetCode just helps me to think about my projects better, but also I do have a goal to become a software engineer in some form. I really enjoy programming as a personal hobby of mine. I've been doing it every day for the past 10 months almost. So I really have a lot of fun doing it, and I want to learn as much as I can. Yeah, I do have some redundant code. I definitely have some places to improve on and things like that. I was thinking, I probably could wrap some of these function, like I'm going to definitely come back and optimize this into a loop here and just make case breaks for these individual space break rows to actually have these weight into changes. But yeah, it's definitely a big improvement from my other projects so far. I appreciate your guys' input. Hey, Master Hermes, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you for coming in. It's Mahan holding down the fort here on the chat. Hey, Carlos. Still here coding, had a setback, but we are back on track, finishing Python crash course, and now starting headfirst Java, dude. Nice. I haven't gotten into that one. You'll have to let me know how that is and if we should get into that, Carlos. See you, Lopta. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I know about foreign keys and joins. We're using some of those. Are you worried about doing it for a living might make you hate it? I'm not sure. We'll have to evaluate that when we get there. Nice, Egos. I really appreciate your input here. That's great. All right, let's keep on moving here. Okay, so this is what we got now. These options to remove and add individual categories. So now we're going to need to write some functions to be able to receive this data within this page, right? So each of these command boxes, or these buttons are going to have commands, and those commands are going to receive. Oh, we need a button here for the business name. Okay, so let's do, we need a button below for the business name. Oh, that throws everything out of loop. That sucks. So we have a space break on 1 that we can use, I guess, for our button. We got lucky. Okay, we got lucky. So let's take this button here. Let's bring it over. Update name button. We'll put this on row. Oh, the label's on 1. No. Shoot, we got screwed here. We're gonna have to cascade this down, unfortunately. Well, no time than the present. 2, 3, 4, 4. You guys are gonna get mad at me, I can tell. Don't hate me, please. I'm sorry. 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17. I can tell you guys are getting mad. Feel the heat growing. 19. Oh, we're gonna have to change our weights too. Oh, this sucks. 20, 20, 21. It's all part of the process. It'll come together. 23. We'll make it 22. So we have 22. Should I even worry about the breaks? Okay, so let's go like this. Let's just say for I in range of, what do we got? 22. We'll say self dot settings frame, configure I weight of 1, right? So that'll take care of that. And then, or we have 20, we have to go 23. And then should I wrap this? So I have 23 columns I can choose from: 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So let's just stack them. Let's just make this 6. Because right now I have these line breaks that now I'm going to get rid of. So this is 8 for the button. It's below there. This is going to be 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. I'm sorry. Be nice to me. 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 actually. So we'll come back here and make this 18. So now we get this. Okay. So now we just don't have that spacing in between. So what do you guys suggest? Hey, Robbie. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I'm a biochemist. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I appreciate you coming in. Wait, so you guys want me to use a... So what way could I optimize it better here for making these rows? Oh, well, I'd have to take all these functions and put them in one area and grid them all together, basically. So that's what I would have to do. 'Cause right now they're separated by different separating lines. So let me take it here. Let me go... I gotta take all the grids and put them together so I can make a loop and then have it do the range, right? So let me take these down here and do the loop. So we'll put them here so make it easy on ourselves. So that's the grid for the label. We'll take these two grids, bring them down. Okay, what other grids do we got? Here's a grid. Okay, and then we got 2 more grids here. Okay, and then we got 2 more grids here. We got 2 more here. Where else do we have grids? 4. I'm missing a grid on 5. Oh gosh, we're getting confused here. No worry, Ghost. I think it's funny. Okay. Oh, I'm getting confused here. I gotta go back. Sorry. Okay, so I need to gather all of these grids into the same place so I can just make a simple function to place them all onto my thing. So it's just annoying because let me do this actually. Let's just gather them all together and then move them all at once. Like so. So we got a grid here. Let's keep taking them. We got some here. Dot grid. We got one here. Take all of these. We got one here. Okay. Got 2 here. Dot grid. Dot grid. There. Got 1 here. Okay. Got 2 here. Dot grid. Okay, we got 2 here. One here. Two here. Okay, I'm gonna paste these here now that I'm kind of close. Bring these over. Okay, so now we have a grid here. 2 grids here. Two grids here. 1 grid here. 1 grid here. And that's it. Okay. So let's say for I in the range of, we're going up to 19. We're going to take all of these, wrap them, and go row I. Row I. Or wait. No, this is stupid. Because no, I don't want it to pass the single value in every single one. Oh. How should I do it then? No, because I need to, because I'm not calling the same value. Ah. So that's just the thing with Tkinter, these each have individual, these are individual widgets that I'm just placing on here, so it's hard to loop. Is there a way I can say, let me make a function called def grid widgets, and we'll pass in if I make a function to grid the widgets, then can I what do you guys suggest? So we still have this. Is the job market bad right now for biology majors? Yeah, pretty bad. Hey, Nick Wan, how's it going? I appreciate you for joining me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're awesome. Hey, AG. Hey, Jordy. Awesome. DJ Nth, how's it going? Welcome in. Sorry, I'm missing some people here. If I missed you in the chat, let me know and I'll say hello. Sorry if I missed your chats, guys. We've got a bunch of new chats in here. If you guys are new here, you should join my Discord in the YouTube description and get access to the roadmap of everything I have for free and talk to everybody offline. It's a great place to network and just talk to people and say hello. Okay, so is there a way I can clean this? Huh. Let's see here. I could say like, I know it took me forever to do this, but I'm gonna go back and I could say I could build a class okay, I think we're back. So I could build a class because each of these chunks is pretty similar. So I could build a class to construct this and then let's try it. So let's define a class called a setting. It's going to take in a ttk dot frame, right? And then we're going to define the initialization of this class to be the object itself, the parent that it goes into, which will be a Tkinter TK object, or it's going into a TTK frame itself, right? And then we're going to pass in, I believe that's the setting, then the setting type, the setting Hey, Hat Knight. Yeah, Simon did a raid here. I have 100 viewers on Twitch? What? What? This is bizarre. For those that are on Twitch, I have a YouTube as well. That's what you see the subscriber count. I'm almost at 1,700 subs. This is wild. Thanks so much for coming in, everybody. My name is Mike. How do you drop down? Yeah, I'm 26 years old. I got a degree in human bio and a minor in chemistry. I've been teaching myself how to code for about 10 months now. Yeah, it's going pretty good so far. Oh, I don't have this. I don't know. Shoot. Well, I don't know. If I make this frame, the thing is I need to think about how I'm gonna try to, and then I'll refactor later, I think. Because I could make a frame for the actual setting itself, which will house a label and an entry, because each setting is the exact same, basically, right, in terms of its makeup. It has a label, a list, a drop down, an entry, and a button. So we could create okay, let's try this. I think we can do it. I think it's definitely possible. I think so. Let's try this. Let's do class of a setting where we take in a TTK frame as our parent, right? Because we're going to go on to the settings tab, or the settings frame itself, right? That's what we're going to go on to for our parent. We're going to initialize this with self and a parent, and that'll be, and then we're going to give it a you need to put in a, what did we say were our options, right? You have to have a label text, a list, options list. So you have to have a label text, a options list, like we'll just say a data list. You have to have a add drop down text. You have to have a remove drop down text, and then you also have to have, so the entry will come automatically. Right, the entry will come automatically. The entry will come automatically. And then the side, you have to have a button text, right? So then here you're going to super, right, the initialization of the parent. And then we're going to say self dot label text equal to label text, self dot data list is equal to data list self dot drop down, add drop down text equals to add drop down text self dot remove drop down text equal to remove drop down text self dot button text is equal to button text. Okay, so now you have those options. So now we need to create in this class the actual widgets themselves based on this information for these individual settings. So let's take, for example, this business sizing setting here. So let's copy this into our setting class here, and you're going to say so the current data label is equal to a TTK label, which will go onto the self dot parent which will attach to the parent of this class with the text of the label text, right? So this will be self.label text. Okay, the current data listed label is a label that goes onto parent with this text, with this data, self.data list, right? Then we say current data label.grid row 0 row 0 column 1 column, right? Perfect. Okay, and then we call add remove data option equals to combo box onto parent with the values equal to the self.data list. Okay, we say the add size data entry is the entry onto parent with a, okay, that's fine, and then we're going to make these row 1 column 1 column 0 column 1. Perfect. Okay, and then update data button, calls button onto parent given the text equal to no, this isn't self.data list. This is values of add drop down text self.remove drop down text, right? And then this is data here. So I'm just trying to clean up this code, maybe refactor this into a class per your guys' recommendation. So then update data button, update, this will be the button text, so self.button text. And then update size is button gets put onto the grid at row 2, column 0, column span 2. So then what we need to do is take this goes here, is we're gridding all this onto the parent. Try Catch TV is rating with a party of 13. What is going on? Holy cow. Thanks for coming in, Nick. I appreciate you so much. Thanks so much for the raid, dude. Awesome. I'm thinking about doing that too, Poo Poo Choo. Right, I was thinking about going back, honestly. Hey, Try Catch TV. Thanks for coming in, dude. Thanks for the raid. Yeah, it doesn't pay. Biochemistry, the field is just too slow, unfortunately, for progression. It's just too slow. Yeah, I have a degree right now in formulation chemistry, so I definitely have work right now, but it's definitely not the growth rate that software is for sure. But I just like coding; it's fun. Hey, FizzBuzz. Yeah, exactly, Poopachu. Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Like you have to like go into management, like and then you have to give up. It's really quite sad on it. Like in my experience, like for my formulation chemistry and stuff, like I get to a certain point where I'll be capped out on my lab work and how much I can get paid based on the lab work and production of product, and then I have to, move into management and give up basically. Some the lab work and everyday science I do, at least in my current field. Hey, CMG Griffin. Yeah, I mean, like production of biochemical products is still only like, even of like high tier medicines and stuff, is only like, if you're like a master's degree and stuff, the ranges are pretty at very high cost of living areas. It's like, entry level is 60 to 70K. You work for a couple of years, you get to 80, 90. You work for a couple more, you get to 110, 115, then you join management, and then you go 125 plus, at least at like big biotech. At more like startup stuff, you maybe have some more opportunity for like I don't know. I'm just seeing whatever door kind of opens here. Hey, Pomegranate, what are you using to learn Python? Did you learn it off courses or books? Mainly both. I really enjoy reading the books. I really find that it has a lot of value, more so than honestly videos, in my opinion. The ability to take book information, English words and writing, and translate that yourself into code and make word of it is a really nice skill to have, and it really shows for this, which is really cool. And so that's really what has been driving it so far. But this is our current settings we got going on. So we have these settings. So let's just start getting some functionality going. We can refactor these down into classes later, but we're kind of stalling out here. We need to keep moving. If you guys are here, leave a thumbs up on the stream. I really, really appreciate you guys joining me here. Thank you so much, my friends. It's awesome to meet all you guys. You guys are so cool. Yeah, do you have CMG? Do you have some like hold on. What do you want me to do, Mahan? You want me to share my YouTube link in the chat? message. I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel if you guys want to come check it out. How many viewers we got on the Twitch right now? Hey, Scary Sticks, what's going on, dude? Welcome in, welcome back. Pomegranate, what are you learning in Python? Let me know. You should join the Discord link down below in the YouTube description. It's a really great roadmap, completely for free for you guys to learn programming alongside me with all the resources that I do and everything. Uh-oh, I'm scared to click that. Oh, is that my current stream? Oh, it is my it's my stream. Oh, you guys are funny. I was like, uh-oh, what's this? Okay, so let's go ahead in the settings tab. Let's go ahead and start writing some functions. Okay, so def. So our first function that we need to write, or actually we need to add a button below this, right? So we need to go update name. Oh no, we already added it. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So we need to get an event action command for the update name button. So this is going to have a command of update name, right? So we're going to call def update name given self. We're going to have to, unfortunately, I did not think ahead and put self on these, which I'm so stupid for. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, CMG, he was saying that biotech often is pretty limited to, you know, the pay scale is definitely not there in terms of what tech offers. Now, there are some niche opportunities out there for biotech, you know, but it also kind of forces you into management roles after a few years, and then kind of weeds you out of working in the lab, especially if you want to bring in more money. And it just really, it's unfortunate. CAG, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you for joining me. For those that are in chat, both on Twitch and YouTube, what are you guys studying? Let me know what you guys are working on. I really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me. What do you guys, how long, let me know you guys' experience, like, in terms of like programming, what you guys' background, you guys have degrees, are you students, are you in school? Let me know more about yourselves, and let's network here and talk, and what's going on, guys? Trying to found an AI company, what's that about? Let me know more about that. That sounds cool. That sounds really cool. Okay, so we'll take this. Okay, so we need to first get the entries for the names, update name setting. Okay, so what do we have here? We have, for the update name, we have business name label. I'm just gonna copy this really quick down so we can just see all the entries that we need. Then I'm just going to delete these, so now we have access to them.
The beast is gonna be there for him, you know what I'm saying? Like, a beat is not sold until the check clears.
Okay. Self.business name label.get. Why is this not coming up? Why is this not coming up? Self.business name label. I'm passing it in. Okay, so we're going to get these. Business name label dot get, and we'll say new business name is equal to this. If new business name is not, if it dot is alnum, if not business name alnum, raise value error where we'll say or I'll just call I won't do a check. I'll say, right, if new business name is equal to a blank string, we're going to if it's equal to a blank string, what do we need to say? We need to make the so we got to give a status at the bottom though. Okay, so what we need to do is we have so many things we need to add. So we have to give a settings status label is equal to a ttk dot label given self dot settings frame. We'll give it a text equal to status none. Right, and then let's go ahead and settings status label dot grid this to row 19 column 0 with a column span of 2. Okay, so now we'll go up to our function here and make this go to 20. So now we can access 19. So then we'll say if it's equal to a blank string, then we're going to say settings status self dot, so we give self dot settings status label dot config. We'll say text is going to be equal to status invalid, status failed, name update failed. Blank entry. Okay, and then we're going to return false from that. Okay, so the button, so in the name here, we get in a label, an entry via the oh no, we're gonna get the entry, not the label. So self.business name entry dot get we then want to call we want to get, what do we want to get? That's it. That's the only thing we need to get from there. So if it's successful, right, if new business name dot is alnum here, then we'll go ahead and say we'll say if it's alnum, we'll accept the business name. Right, and it has to be a certain length. So length of new business name is less than, let's say, 25 characters, less than or equal to 25 characters, then what we're going to do is we're going to pass that through and say that we're going to call business self dot business dot name is equal to new business name. So our business class has a name that we're going to override for a value. Sorry, I'm missing out on tons of chats here. I work for a big company, tough though for main job. Passion on the side, just your standard AI startup trying to replace devs, lol. Gonna break 1 million contracts soon. Nice, dude. Greenfield projects, not great leads. Sorry, let me get caught up in the YouTube chats here. I'm studying electrical engineering, says Pomegranate. Oh, sorry, we got some more chats. Oh, gosh. Just graduated preparing an interview tomorrow, says, yeah. Awesome, hey, thanks for coming in, yeah? Appreciate you. Hey, Yuri Grabrar, welcome. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Thanks for joining here, I really appreciate it. We're working on the Small Business Manager in Tkinter. This is our project so far that we've got going on. We've been building an entire UI and backend in Python for this local project on your device. They will be able to take inventory items, expenses, transact inventory items for both sale and return, auto-populate income statements, auto increasing and decreasing cost of goods sold, gross sales, sales transportations, and computing a net income for various calendar years. And then obviously a balance sheet for that calendar years for remaining inventory unsold for the value of those assets. So now we're working on a settings menu here to just update the various mechanisms for these individual parameters that the business can tailor towards themselves, which is pretty cool. So with this, we need to go update business name. Okay, so if it's altnum and the length is this, right, else we're going to call this, say it failed, status, invalid name, invalid. So should we give individual cases though? So if it's this, else. So if this passes, invalid, alpha name must be alpha numerical only. Alpha numerical only. So if business name is alnum, right? If length of business, right there, else. Return false, update failed, length, name length, greater than 25. Must be less than 25 characters. Name must be less than Okay, so if you have that the name is alphanumeric, if that fails, you return this failure that is alphanumeric only. Else, if the business is less than or equal to 25 characters, we save the business name. Else, you return false and say that the update failed, that the name must be 25 characters. Developing a sports tracker with fast API. That's cool, Scary Sticks. What does that entail? That sounds really awesome. You should look, I think, Chase from Space in the Discord and also on the YouTube, in the chat, he built a sports score tracker via the CLI interface and posted it in the Discord project showcase. So check that out and maybe link with him. He's a very nice guy, and I'm sure he'll give you some insights if you're wanting to talk with him. I'm studying electrical engineering right now and have noticed that I really need to hone my programming skills. It seems to be that if you want to move up in the world, coding is a must. Yeah, that's kind of the writing I read on the wall. I kind of was thinking, now that AI is coming out, maybe not, but my original, before AI was, in the works and really kind of gone mainstream, I had this, prediction that I believed that, general programming and coding classes would start to be taught at the elementary level as core curriculum with math, science, reading, and writing. And so I thought I had this prediction that if everything went the way it was going and AI wasn't going to come in there and just throw a knife into everything, that at 5 years old, when you got into, or 6 years old, whenever you got into kindergarten or whatever you started, you would start formally learning a portion of programming at that age. Do you guys recommend courses at all, or should I stick to learning off books? I think both. I use both. I paired CS50P with the Python Crash Course book. They went hand in hand almost perfectly in terms of their contents. Now this doesn't talk about regular expressions and things like that, but a lot of the loops, functions, object-oriented classes, data structures, lists, variables, it works very, very well to pair this with Python Crash Course, with CS50P. Hey Frio, welcome. Plague music. Sorry, plague music. Plague. Oh my gosh, cannot reading. You doing any LeetCode tonight? We solved the problem earlier in the evening. For the first hour, we solved problem 160, I think it was. So feel free to reference back to the first hour, Mr. Yeah. Hey, plague music, it's a strong urge, so yeah, you got to avoid it. If you honestly, don't beat yourself up though. This is how I formulate my prompts for my learning. I try to use ChatGPT as a similar resource as I would like a TA or another student that may have more experience than me. So that student or TA would never just give me the answer. They would want me to grow and learn. And I don't have access to a student or TA. I'm not in college. I'm learning this on my own. So I got to use the resources that I have at hand. And it would be kind of unwise for me not to use AI to help speed up my progression. As long as I'm learning the fundamentals the right way, it'll just help increase my pace, which is I can attest to maybe why I'm I'm in 10 months kind of able to make some of these projects to this point. So what I often say in my LeetCode is I am working on LeetCode problem whatever, and I am having trouble with X part. I am unfamiliar with X part because of Y reasoning, right? Do not show me code. So I always preface, do not show me code, but instead gauge my current learning and push me with words to an idea or better way of thinking, right, or something like that. And then that's what I would ask it, right? And then it would come back with, okay, let's go ahead and break this down together, and let's go step by step and really understand and gauge your learning. It'll ask you questions and say, okay, what do you know about loops? Okay, I know that our it'll say okay, our lists, iterable. Yes, they are iterable. Okay, now that I now know that you know that, so have a conversation with it as if you were asking your professor something. Like, I'm struggling with this. I don't know about this part in the lecture. Can you come back and help me and understand it? Use it in the same way you would be talking to a person, and I think you'll be in great shape to not like abuse the resource. Learning C++, nice, dude. Nice pomegranate. Oh, is it just pomegranate? Oh, I'm so stupid. Been saying pomegranate? Ugh. So embarrassing. Oh my god. Um, Eduardo, what would you recommend here then? Do you have like a snippet you could send me for if I want to check for alphanumeracy first and then handle that else, and then within that handle this? How could I make this cleaner, basically, in your... Hey, DJ Batman, welcome in, dude. It's been so long. How you doing? No, definitely not a vibe coder. I do not identify as a vibe coder. Gonna head out. See you, Prax. Yeah, tonight was an awesome stream. Super, a lot of chats. You guys are so awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me here. What decided to make you build a UI with Python? Wow, man, I dig seeing something different. Honestly, my thought process for learning Python and building in Python strictly is that I kind of have this theory or thought process from a lot of other programmers seem to be taking the route of trying to gain some surface level knowledge or beginner to slight intermediate level knowledge of a vast majority of languages to kind of, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's an illusion or whatnot, maybe to just have more data on a resume to show, but in reality is does that that fresh graduate, that 22-year-old actually know like 10 languages that they listed out, like Rust, R, C++, C, Python? Do they know how to build a project from start to finish in every single one of those? If it's on your resume, like, in my opinion, you should know like it fluently. Like, you're advertising that as a skill to be paid for, and if you don't, then you're just basically lying, in my opinion. Which it's whatever. But my personal take is that I really want to gain a expertise, per se, for lack of a better word, in Python in a singular language before going and expanding into other things. And when I make that leap into expand into other things, I think it'll be so much easier to just pick up on those things, because I already have a fundamental knowledge of how a programming language works from the ground up, at least a wrapper one, kind of like this, using C as its backend to compile and whatnot. But or whatever it is. But that's kind of like my thinking, is that I really want to, if I say I know Python on my resume, my employer could just tell me they want this in Python and I can go do it. Like, I don't have, if condition 1 and condition 2. So you want me to say if and length of new business, right, is less than or equal to 25. We'll go ahead and set the value to that, right? Else it's so how can I capture the or for the secondary message to tailor it more specifically? So if this and, go ahead and save this. just handle each case individually. So if it's not alpha, if just do the, what did they say? Focus on the negative first. So if not alpha, then raise this error and return false. Right, and then say, if not, right, length of new business 25, then do this here, right? Else, go ahead, it passes, and say this, and we can return true. Yeah, that's much better. How do you think about that, Eduardo? So if we start by handling the negatives first and then default to the positive, that would happen by default if the negatives aren't met. So we'll say, and we'll make the configure for this basically right, we'll set the configure to this as status name update success. We'll say success name updated, business name. Okay, and then return true and say success. So now, right, nothing's gonna happen, right? Or wait, it should actually work. So if I go here and go test, success, haha. And so then if I'm not saving though, so it won't actually save in my business class for that name in my business JSON here. But if I call, right, if I call save business after on the return true here, right, if I call what is it? self.business.savebusiness on here. Right, and then I run @py. If I go settings and I type in a new test name, let me give like an underscore here. That should name update failed, business name alphanumerical only. Perfect. So new test name update failed. Why did that fail? No. Test success. Oh, it's over 25 characters. So new test name alphanumerical only. Okay, so new test. Oh, you can't have spaces. Ah, shoot. So we'll say if new business dot split on right dot is al num. So this will split two values. Oh shoot. Can we? How do we trim? Can we trim? Isn't that a function? Is trim a Python function? I want to remove all white space. I want to strip this down basically. How can I remove all white space from a string? I know I need to open source it soon, Mahan. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Almost. We're almost done with this feature, and then I'll open source it and we can start adding in. I want to start adding in like graphs to display things graphically and things like that. So we can assign out some tasks in the Discord. Hey Retro, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. Is computer science and sleep not a good combo? Yeah, we up right now. What time is it for you guys if you're out there? Poopachu, I kind of had this idea that or thought process where I think that the people that are really worried about AI are those that actually don't really enjoy programming and are just doing it for an occupation and for a paycheck at the end of the day, which, you know, it's not terrible to do, but it just will cause burnout eventually, I think. But I have a theory that the people that actually care about programming and the concept of it and want to see it advanced encourage AI and things like that, and those people will be successful in the end. Let me know what you guys think about that. What library does Python have for biochemistry? I mean, it has like a lot of the data analysis libraries that chemistry like uses. So like pandas or NumPy are probably big in data in bioinformatics. Thanks, Pomegranate. Welcome for coming in. Thanks for coming in, dude. It was awesome to meet you tonight. 2:20 a.m., 1 a.m., 22 minutes past midnight. Late night crew. Leave a thumbs up if you're part of the late night crew here. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. We're 3 subs away from 1,700. Anybody want to try their luck at being number lucky 1,700? Okay, so that means you can't put in spaces. How could we identify? I don't want to look it up on AI. I want to. Replace. Split followed by a join. Okay, so you can do .replace or you can do the .join method on another string. I think we should do the replace because you might have multiple spaces, like if there's 3 words or 4 words for the business. So let's do the .replace. Hey, Stack Overflow is kind of fun. Who needs AI? You got Stack Overflow. Who would have thought? So let's do .replace. What was it? Replace all spaces with no spaces, and then we'll call is all num after that. So now if we run appy in settings and we go test name and cohere, success updated. Now if I go to my business info JSON, test name, woo! Look at that. Yo. Yes. So now we got that saving appropriately to our business. So next time we open up this program, watch what happens to our name at the top. It's no longer poop. It's test name. Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? Hey, Omar Ali, thanks for coming in, dude. Oh, $16.99. Who's going to try their luck at 1700? We've been stuck in the 1600s for so long. It's been like a month. Thank you so much, Omar, and everybody who followed along today. You guys are so awesome. I really, really appreciate you guys joining the community. You know, even if you're not really directly learning something new from what we're doing here, use the stream to hold yourself accountable in your own studying, right? I've got a lot of people that really enjoy just putting on the stream in the background to hang out as if we were in a study room together in college, like in the library. That's how I... 1700! Oh, boy. Okay, let me get a screenshot here for the Discord. Boom! All right, we gotta get 5 big booms for 1700. Boom! 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 All right. I'll post that in the Discord channel announcements right now, guys. Woo! We did it! We made it! If you guys aren't in the Discord, go join the Discord in the YouTube description. I'm also streaming on YouTube if you're on Twitch. I've got to put my Discord in the Twitch description. I keep forgetting. Sorry, you guys. I announced 1700 on 3/16. Or sorry, 1600 on 3/16, and we're announcing 1700 on 4/14. So 2 days shy of a month. Thank you guys so much for the support. Like I said, just use the stream if you want and feel to hold yourself accountable. I'm pretty good at, you know, getting myself to come in and code and log in every single day and hold myself accountable. And if you want to do that too and get that, build that work ethic in studying and working on whatever it may be, just use the stream as a way to, you know, put it on. And if I'm streaming, then you work alongside me on whatever you're doing and talk to me about it and talk to me about your ideas, and it's fun. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys responded to my technically product people will be important. Will be super great devs or no work. New paradigm for organizing and accessing data for LM models already happening. Once they hire too many people during the pandemic, it's almost always wrong. Technical layouts are called about a company. Thank you so much, Syndicus. Thank you so much for the following. Yes, it's so awesome when something works. So right now our test name, so right now if I go to the business, so what I need to do is call refresh settings, and then how can I dynamically have this value change? Because the thing is it's pulling from here. So I could call a function to get title. The thing is like you have to, how could I have it, you guys, to where I don't have to relaunch the program in order for that name to actually have updated, right? Visually, right? Because it reads the name and then populates it when on loading of the actual window for the UI. But then if I type in, right, Michael's business, this isn't gonna let me, it's not alphanumerical, I can't have it. So Michael Biz, right, and I update, well that took it, but as you can see I still have test name now. When I relaunch though, now it updates to Michael Biz. This is a very library specific issue with Python library. I don't know lifecycle. Yeah, see, like it's interesting because I'm building and constructing the frame at the very start, and that's what you're visualizing. And then I'm updating information within the individual widgets. But what about the actual window itself for this title? Well, let's see if Stack Overflow knows. Let's say, can you update to Kinter window title method live during window Hey, Waffles AMD Syrup. Thanks for coming in, dude. I like that name. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You got the diamond pickaxe and the pick. That's cool. If you guys are part of the late night crew, leave a thumbs up on the stream. It really, really helps. Let's get some hearts in chat. I'll spam them for you guys. Spamming you guys' chats. You guys are awesome. Well, my chat's a little bit off the screen a little bit. Here we go. Okay, we'll have to take this to the almighty orb then. Yeah, if you can absolutely update it into your window live while the window is running, just call the title new title method on your method on the TK root window anytime you'd like. Root.title. Okay, so then let's see here. We have to call. The thing is our settings menu has a parent of that we're passing in. So our settings menu is here. It has a parent of tab control. Tab control is our notebook app, and which is taking an app which houses our title. So I am using OOP to have the title of the root be nested as an instance variable. How can I still access this with my issue? So if I have a parent that I'm being taken in by this tab, which is the settings tab, the parent of this tab is the notebook dot parent dot. So we'll say my main root is a frame that has a notebook that has tabs. Inside a tab, I am trying to change the root title. Oh, I had to pass in the root as a reference. Okay, so in our settings tab, what we're gonna do is pass in app itself. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So let's pass in app itself into this settings tab. We'll take in the app as a referenceable instance, and then what we can do is call app self.app.title equals to new business name, and then we'll save and return true. So now if I run, if I go settings, test, moment of truth. Oh, okay, it worked. Okay, it worked. Okay, it worked. Okay, so Now we'll take this, take that, go to settings tab, put the title as here with this as what we put inside. Now we run. Okay, now we go settings. Whose name do we want to do? Eduardo? Eduardo. Eduardo. Oh. Aduardo. Ready? Right here. Watch right here, guys. Watch. Yes! Okay, you can do it live. Sweet. All right, one feature done. One setting done. A couple more to go. Yeah, but see what I have right here, Poopachu, is that I'm also calling, right, it'll update right in this instance, and then I'm calling save business. And what the save business file is doing is it's calling, right, it's pulling all of the business information that I currently have, which I'm overwriting, right, the business name as this new business name. And then, and so I'm saving it in the file, and so then when I load back my program, as you can see, it'll have Eduardo here, still there, because I'm saving this in my business class, right? By default, you assign the name given, else you say else you put default name, right? So I'll put default name here, and then so what it's doing is it's saving that within that JSON, and then on launch within here, I'm calling business read business. So then it populates the red business name off the file, right? So it loads on launch, and then you can also change live in the program. So Eduardo's there, settings, we'll say test name, update, that got updated to test name. If we close and relaunch, it's still test name. Woohoo! All right, you guys, that's a cool place for us to stop for tonight. I'm kind of apprehensive to stop. We got 18 people in here and some people in the Twitch, so don't cry, don't fear, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Sorry, how would you update it every X minute? What do you mean? Or second? What do you mean by minute or second? I'm not sure what you mean by why are we using time? Right, you're just changing the name. I'm not sure what you're referring to. We're just changing the name over, so we're just changing the name, updating it, and then saving it to a file so we can get that name back next time we run, right? If I were to call just change the title here and then I didn't save the business, well, it would read whatever the old file was off of this name on the read business, right? So I have to call the save file there so I can get the save of the information, and so I can bring it back on the next launch. But I'm not really sure what you mean by like timed and stuff. Oh, no worries. I appreciate your thought process, though. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. I think this is going to be it for me. I really, really appreciate every single one of you. Truly, truly, you guys are so awesome. I love meeting you guys and hanging out. It's so fun when we get a lot of viewers in here. It was like a blast from the past. For the past few weeks, Twitch has been our YouTube has been kind of not pushing us as much, but today they really picked us up and looked like we got back to our old mark around the 750 to 1,000 views a stream. So it's kind of, I think he means while typing or in real time. Oh, got you. Yeah, I'm not sending over data like keystroke for keystroke or whatnot. No, just like on input on enter. There's a raid. Oh, you want me to raid someone else on Twitch? Okay, I always forget. Yeah, okay, sorry. How do we do that? I've never done it before. We got to look for someone in software and development. Software. Game development. Who do we want to raid here? How do you do it? I don't know how to do it. He's doing LeetCode. He's doing a hard one. He deserves a raid. 4 viewers on a LeetCode hard. Let's give this guy a raid. How do I do this? Do you just do join? You just do join, Mahan? Let's turn off the music here. Let's give this guy the attention he deserves.
Let's see it. Come on. Yeah. You can tell judging's taking a while.
How do we raid? Do you just press join?
Yeah. Working? Love.
I don't think so. I don't think we did it. How do we do this?
How can we...
Where was he? I don't know how to do it. /raid? In the chat?
we were thinking about... Earlier we were thinking about how we could reduce...
Do I do /raid?
combinations of numbers.
Mahan, I need you.
So
Hurry.
determine...
Just raid?
We basically have a position, or we basically have a mapping of our value in nums1 to our position in nums2, which is a good place to start.
Go to your chat, type raid channel name. Oh, okay. So what's his channel name? LeetCode with me?
How do we determine... How do I identify the potential triplets faster? So, at each index...
Oh, here we go. We got 35 viewers in this stream. Wow, thank you guys so much for joining me today. You guys are awesome. All right, we're going to go raid this guy. He's doing a LeetCode hard problem. Looks like a really nice guy and really cool. Again, truly, you guys, thanks so much for joining me on Twitch. I stream every single day, so be back tomorrow if you want to study with me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We're going to go ahead and raid over on this guy. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's see his reaction.
The last candidate, like...
Let's see his reaction. That's so awesome.
I'm currently solving today's daily problem, trying to solve today's daily problem, and on LeetCode, count good triplets in an array. So this is we need to find 3 distinct values which are present in increasing order in position in both nums1 and nums2. So what that means is basically that if like
This is fun. I like this. This is so nice.
401 needs to
160, 160. Oh, shoot. Gosh, dang it. Okay, come on. What is that? What is that? Where'd it go? Come back. Oh no, I screwed up. Where'd he go?
Select the corresponding combination in nums2, but that's going to be
Is it 168? Oh my gosh, I forgot already.
viable.
Ah,
Um,
frustrating.
so what I've done so far is basically, because we have all of the distinct integers between 0 and n, we can build a map from value to index in nums2, which is,
160.
yeah, grinding hard for sure. This is just today's daily, so working on it. So we're building a map from value to index from value to index in nums2. So we have um, basically every value in nums2 and then the corresponding index. What we can do is we can select 3 indices in nums1, and then we can evaluate in constant time what whether or not they are in the corresponding order in nums2.
Triple for loop? Ugh.
What I'm working on
What?
is
Come on.
solved 160 today. Awesome. What I'm working on now is n cubed still isn't going to work because
Bruh, this looks ridiculous.
possible.
Ain't no way.
And so I'm trying to figure out how we can actually reduce this time complexity of identifying.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This was really fun. I like rating people on Twitch. That's so awesome. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you sub and follow along. Join the Discord link down below in the YouTube description, and so you can get access to all my resources. Talk to me offline. I sometimes post my my stock market trades in there in the off-topic chat, which is fun. We've been hitting quite a lot lately on the stock market, catching these political ups and downs. But thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll continue on with our small business manager project that we've been building in Python up through this point, right? We just added in a feature for updating the business name live, right? As you can see with test name, if we update, this gets just changed to test with a success message. And so it looks really good so far. So thank you guys for being here. We're going to push this up to GitHub soon. We're almost done, probably 1 or 2 more days, and then we'll get moving on. So I'll see you guys later. See you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.